Yeah, this definitely needs adjustment. Absolutely, it needs adjustment. Absolutely, it needs adjustment. That is for sure. And we have to take control. We have to take control. So let me just take a look at the chat. Dale Carnegie book recommends that you always introduce yourself. Yes, hi, how you doing? Definitely. Thank you so much for doing that. So welcome to the live. Now, we become subconsciously attracted to the things. Yeah. So once you think of it and you want it, you'll start seeing it. Think about the last time you thought of a car that you want. You thought of a car that you want, and then what happened? You started seeing it everywhere. Or you go to buy a dress and you don't buy the dress, but you saw the dress. And now you go on the street, then you start seeing it everywhere. Now you haven't seen it before until that day. You just saw it at the mall, you didn't buy it. And then you go outside and then everybody's wearing that dress. How come? Now you became aware of it. So I got to raise your awareness, right? You got to raise your awareness so you can start seeing things. And I got to teach, I got to get you to think. That's what I do. I wake people up and get you to think. Sometimes it's interesting to say, people, oh, what do you do? How do you do it? Well, I got to get you to think. The best thing I could do is to get you to think, get you to think on your feet, get you to think so you can be confident and so you can be observant and so you can make better decisions more often than not, right? A lot of people don't make enough good decisions. They make one bad decision after the other because they're on the negative side. I want to get you on the positive side. Now, what do you think about all the time? Which is follows up to that note, okay? We become subconsciously attracted to things. What do you think about all the time? What do you think about all the time? Napoleon Hill said, and Napoleon Hill is the author of Think and Grow Rich, right? I love this book. I studied today, and for the next 6-7 days, I'm studying auto-suggestion, which is an incredible chapter. But Napoleon Hill said, we think in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is nothing but our looking glass. We think in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is nothing but our looking glass. Hence, we have to be careful about what we think about because we become what we think about for real. See, another thought we learned of is that if we are not feeling good, we're involved in the wrong idea. So if you're not feeling good in any given day, I want you to know that you are involved in the wrong idea. It's nobody's fault. Yeah, maybe you made pain, maybe you're ill, but why did you get ill? Because your mind was involved in the bad idea first of all. That's why. Your mind causes your body to get into this motion. Your mind is in control. And 95% of the time, you don't have control. It's running on automatic. And that's the main thing that I learned from Bob Proctor. How to shift the paradigm, how to shift your mind to the thing that you want. Okay? We have to go back and change it. Remember that we think in secret, but we have to control from the inside. We have control of the thought. We have control. We just don't express the control. You have to express it to your liking, to your way of living. We have control of the thought. Every person has a genius locked up inside of them. So start paying attention to what people are saying. Stay focused on them and become focused and dedicated. Listen to understand. So you have to be intentional. Note that people often never say what they are thinking. See, most of the time, people don't say what they're thinking. If they say what they're thinking, it's going to be like hilarious, right? Very few people are focused and dedicated on what they are doing. The mind controls the body, and the body is the instrument. So the emotional mind, the subconscious, is what determines the body and what it does. So that was a good guess. Yes, that's a good guess. Good job. I'm Canadian, yes, and I'm living in the US. So that's a very good guess. Wow. How do you know? Probably the accent, right? Probably the Selena, right? So that's pretty cool. So now Bob Proctor said this stickman figure, that's what Bob said. You know, he studied this for 61 years. And it's also right here in my book. So if I go to figure 4.2, which is like here in my book, right? He said, Bob Proctor said the stickman figure by Truman Fleet was the most valuable idea he gained in the 50 years while studying and researching the mind. So you see, we think in pictures, and having a graphic to illustrate what's happening in the mind puts it all in perspective. Don't take this thing lightly. This is serious. This stickman figure puts a picture to the mind. And it's pretty cool because then you can start formulating things. I can start moving the thought to a thing, and then we're going to move it to reality. Like you can start learning how to create. We think in pictures. Think of the other person and focus. Note that the energy around them is there. See and feel the conversation. That's what Selena is doing right now. They could be consciously saying something, but subconsciously meaning something else. So go by the feeling. Feeling is spirit, and spirit never lies. It only expresses itself freely and truly. You will see this in salespeople often. You feel the sincerity, but something is missing. How do you know that? See, it's your intuitive sense. It's your sixth sense, right? And factor that uses this. Understand this and develop your intuitive sense. If you think they are thinking something, ask them. You have to practice this. You have to play with this. If you think they are thinking something, ask them. That is known as positive feedback. You can feel better than you can hear, and you can feel the other person's energy. So develop your energy and start to understand that you have this talent. You develop it through practice. Take your mind off yourself and pay attention to the other person. Don't focus on yourself. Give them your undivided attention. Often this is known as the sixth sense. And that's what we talked about earlier, which is pretty cool. Now, what's planted in the subconscious mind has to move to form. So you probably heard of the law of attraction. You probably heard of the law of vibration, maybe not, but how do you attract things into your life? How do you want something and suddenly it starts happening? It goes from an idea, right? The thought, you get involved with it, you get to feel it, and then you take some action, and then somehow it starts to happening. You start building the house, you start meeting the right people, the coach will show up. You know, when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. That's how it works. It's because you attract it into your life. I attract the people that I need into my life. I attract my clients into my life. I attract business partners into my life because I use these laws. I think about it, I get engaged with it, I feel it, and then my body goes into the motion to what I need to do, and then it happens. Now you can learn how to do that. That's how powerful this is. With ease, this is, you don't have to have a degree to do this. You don't have to have a degree to do that. You just have to do what it tells you to do. What's planted in the subconscious mind has to move to form. So remember that when the things that are coming to your life are not what you want, look on the inside. What are you thinking about? The conscious mind thinks, the subconscious mind executes. Learn how to bring to it learn how to bring it to the surface and put it to work. So you have to look at your life. If things are not happening the way you want, all you have to do, you have to ask yourself this question. You're welcome, Angela. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that's a big conversation that we cannot do on the live, but there are things that you have to think about and prepare yourself for that big conversation, right? So, but if there are things happening in your life, it's not happening on the outside, it's happening on the inside first. And I can explain that to you better on a diagram on the screen, but I want you to know that whatever is happening on the outside, this is your mind, this is your body, and this is the outside. Whatever is happening on the outside is happening in your mind first. Whatever is happening on the outside, you've invited it to happen. Now, you might not like this. They might have done something wrong. I get it. They might have done it. I don't know. Whatever is happening, and the results in life, the true result, the bank statement, the money you have, the people you're hanging around, is the result of what you've been thinking. Now, if I can help you start changing your thinking and becoming the person you want to become, Angela and Selena, and start thinking the thoughts you want to think, life will start changing because you'll be changing on the inside. You see, Carl Jung said, those who look outside dream, but those who look inside awaken. Did you catch that? Carl Jung was a philosopher, a writer. Those who look outside dream, but those who look inside awaken. So whatever is happening on the outside is the result of what's going on the inside. Now, yeah, sometimes God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is putting us through the ringer. It's putting us through the test. It's happening for us. I don't understand why there's so much misery. I don't understand why there's so much chaos out there. Don't think I do. I mean, we're creating it, but some of it is like doesn't even make sense. Some of it that the abnormalities and the difficulties that people have and the illnesses that people have and the bugs and all this stuff, nobody can understand it. Nobody can explain it. But there are certain things that we can't. All I could control is my mind. I just control me. See, if I want to be free, I have to be me. And if I control me, that's all what matters. Then I'm free to think the way I want to think. Then I'm free to become the way I want to become. I want to become that person of me. And that's the thing. So that conversation that you mentioned in the chat, we can have a conversation, just, book some time and we can talk. One of my last clients, no, not last, one of, I think it was 12 months ago, she just told me a few weeks ago and gave me a testimonial. She made 10 times her income. But before that, she was struggling with her relationship. Before that, she was just about to separate from that because of what she was going through. She was in real estate, and I could show you the testimonial. It's on my YouTube channel. Her name is Lori Lee. If you go to my YouTube channel, Kamal El-Rassi, and look up the name Lori Lee, look up the name Lori Lee on my YouTube. You will see the testimonial. It is incredible. I started teaching her this stuff about how the mind works, and then she started to feel better. Her business started to get better. Everything started to get better. And now she's 10 times her business. She's happy with her husband, and everything's going very well. So pretty cool guy, by the way, too. So this is the stickman figure, and it's right here, right? If you have the book, it's right here. You can make notes on it, and that's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to make notes. I used to not write on books, but now I do a lot on the books. So you need to understand some of these things to really overcome the difficulties, the common difficulties that are going on out there, right? So thanks, Rebecca, for the follow. I'm going to follow you back. See, when I have time, if I see somebody follow me, I'll follow you back. And if I don't follow you and you want me to, just send me a message or so and say, hey, I'd like you to follow me. And it's digital currency, and if that's going to help you in any way, I'll follow you. And it's pretty cool, right? Sometimes some of the creators are like, oh, we don't want to follow too many people. Why not? I want you to follow me. I'll follow you too, right? Do unto others like you want to done unto you, right? So I just do what I have. I do what I do, right? So if I want you to follow me, yeah, I'd love for you to follow me, and I'm going to follow you back when I'm able to manage all this, because there's nobody else helping me here. So I'm doing all this by myself. So on a Saturday afternoon. After this, I'm going to go attend an AI event. It's pretty cool. So one of my friends is running an AI event. So, but anyways, I digress. So we are still on chapter 4. We're on page 63. We're at the stickman figure. Now, how to apply this information into your life. And I just want to thank everybody that's liking the live, and I want to thank everybody that's sharing this and inviting your friends. I want to tell you how important that is. What's so important about it, because you are the average of the 4 or 5 people you're hanging around. So you are the average of the 4 or 5 people you're hanging around. So that means what? That means, who are you talking to? Who you're spending time with? Who are you hanging around? Like, I can predict your future. Like, if you're hanging around people at the bar, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, that's pretty cool, good for you. You're going to be like the people at the bar, if that's who you hang around all the time. But if you're hanging around the people in the casino, you're going to be like the people in the casino. Now, if you're hanging around people like myself, who are making kids millionaires, if you're hanging around people like myself, who study wealth and who study money and who study mindset. This is my mentor, by the way. Laurel is a very good friend of mine and mentor. Right. If you hang around this kind of people, guess what happens? Yes, you become the average of those 4 or 5 people. Thank you very much, Selena. That is pretty cool. So when you invite people to listen, when you are intentional about where you're hanging out, it's important. It's also important to let go of some of your negative friends. If you have somebody in your life that is too negative, that is too much of a hassle every time, everything's going bad, I don't want you to fire them all, but just spend less time with them. Call them once on the holidays. Visit them once during the day, but stay away from them. You probably know they'll drain you. Yeah, they will drain you, right? So I have some people in my life that I've known for 30 years, and they're negative for 30 years. Now, I don't talk to them anymore much. Just on the holidays, if I see them at the church or if I see them in the market. But otherwise, I don't want nothing with negative people. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with anybody that's not working on big goals. I don't want to deal with anybody, or not deal, like hang around with anybody that's not upping their game. I want to be around people that smell good, that look good, that are taking care of themselves. I don't want to go into a car with somebody that is filthy, right? I don't want to, because I'm not like that. So if I'm not like that, I have to act like that. Yeah, here we go. She doesn't want to deal with alcoholics. Sure, you don't want to, I'm good for you, right? So that's fine. Your car is the way it is for you, but for me, it's not acceptable. So I have to act the part, right? I cannot be in an environment that's not supportive to my living, to my situation. So I create that distance, right? Why is that? Because you become the average of who you hang around. Now I'm hanging around Les Brown. I'm hanging around John Ashraf. I'm hanging around Harrison Klein, John DeMartini, Laurel Langmeyer. And guess what's going to happen in 3, 4 years? Yeah, clean up the car. That is right. Thank you, Rebecca. Clean up the car, because Selena would love for you to be here. So clean up the car. Hopefully, this is an incentive. Don't take it as an insult, or don't take it as, oh my God, he just insulted me. No, it's a compliment. That's going to help you level up, because you are here and I want you to level up. I want you to get better. I want you to, I want you to move to that next level, whatever is that next level for you. I only want to talk and work and spend time with people who are motivated, people who are needing the help, people who are growing. I don't want to be with people who are dying. As a matter of fact, I don't even like going to the hospitals, because there's a lot of people that are sick and dying. And I even have family members who go to the hospital. I don't like going there, because that's dying. I want to be growing. It's a mindset. It's not just talk, it's real. And that's what I love about this book, because it's what I used to grow myself. It's what I used to become the next version of me. It's what I used to help me, right? It's my duty to share with you my journey, so that you can be ignited into this power that you need, right? I don't know what's going to take for you, but how do you apply it into this life? So let's read it. There's only a few more pages, and then we can just chat and do a little more, because I'm also recording this on my Zoom, so that we can have it available for everybody in my community. My community is going to get 30 days free courses. So we've just revamping everything, and we are going to have 30 days almost of videos, trainings, and sessions on the website. So it's just going to be incredible what the team is putting together. It's going to be available over the next 2, 3 days, where you actually have something every day to study and do. All right. So how to apply this information into your life? Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Now, I'm recommending Fred Astaire dance lessons for you. I don't know who Fred is, but hey, send me, connect with me and send me the link. Maybe I should have those dance lessons. Maybe I need that for more fun. That sounds cool. That sounds good. I'm also 50% Spanish, by the way. I'm, halfway there in my Spanish. So that's pretty cool language. I saw a message earlier about Spanish. Now, there are no mistakes in life, only lessons. So get up and keep going. Learning is by doing. So keep on trying. Do not let the balance sheet control your thinking. Don't let failure stop you. Start acting on your actions. Learn and grow. There is no end to the good that you can experience. So this paragraph is meant to get you to move. Most people, I was in a meeting with Tony Robbins a few years ago. We had this UPW, and it was like, you got to take action. Most people think about it too much and spend too much Take the action, even if it's imperfect, you got to take the action, right? 1940, Fred Astaire. All right, cool. Use the stick person in all that you do. And with every person and every conversation, remember to consider the thoughts coming at you and choose to accept it or reject it. You have a higher faculty, so use it wisely. This is very important. These thoughts are coming to and through you, all right? So these thoughts, this is the stickman figure right here, right? They're coming to and through you, right? Should actually put a line in it here. Once you become aware, you can reject the idea. You can reject the idea. So I can tell you something. For example, I can tell you that the market is crashing and you need to pay attention. Now, you have a choice. Accept the idea or reject the idea. You can reject the idea. Yes, you can reject angry ideas. You can reject any ideas that you don't like. And you can accept any ideas that you want. But if you don't do anything and if you don't interrupt the idea, guess what? You're accepting it without knowing. So some of you that watch a lot of TV, some of you that watch a lot of news, some of you that watch a lot of media out there, negative media, bad media, you're accepting all the ideas. You wake up, you turn the TV on, and the weatherman is talking about how sad it is because it's raining. And you're like, oh shit, I'm going to be sad. You turn the TV on, and yeah, there's another fire in Quebec. Yeah, there's another fire in Hawaii. Yeah, there's another fire in Concord. There's another disaster. Yes, there's a lot of disasters, and you have to care, and you have to give them love, and you have to pay, and you have to donate some of your time and money. But you cannot let all the negative bury you down. You have a choice to reject the idea that it's not going to affect you, and you're still going to perform at your highest self. That's the power. That's when you start controlling your mind, and that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay, that's what it is. Now, what's the summary of this lesson? Many executives and entrepreneurs like yourselves and companies in the world have transformed their lives and businesses to extraordinary levels due to this level of thinking. See, when I change your thinking, everything changes. I was working with a restaurant owner this morning. His life is going to be so much better just from talking to me. Now, I've been kind of slipping information to him the last 6 months, but today, after 6 months, he finally said, man, you've helped me a lot. I said, of course I have. I gave him 2 ideas that are going to transform his business. He's going to pretty much double his income. I guarantee it. And guess what he said? I'm going to buy your material. I want to buy your training. I said, okay. He already have the book, but now he needs the coaching. He needs the mentorship. 6 months in the making. I didn't even have to ask him anything, but he saw the information. He saw how his business can elevate by just changing how he thinks. I upgraded his level of thinking. Now, if you want to get better results quickly and learn what it takes, in chapter 5, I will reveal what is required and necessary to break through and soar above the crowds to start harnessing the power of the mind. What's the biggest takeaway? Well, getting to peak performance has to do with the mind, and you must understand the mind. If you're not getting the results that you want, ask yourself this question: what have I been thinking? My favorite quote, Napoleon Hill: an educated person is not necessarily one who has an abundance of general or specialized knowledge. An educated person is one who has developed the faculties of their mind that they may acquire anything they want or its equivalent without violating the right of others. So, end of chapter 4. I like this final line in this chapter. The power of the mind. Yes. If you're not happy with where you are, if you're not happy with your relationship, if you're not happy with your results, if you're not happy with your bank account, if you're not happy with your home, if you're not happy with your car, if you're not happy with your kitchen, if you're not happy with anything that's happening in your life, write down this question: what have I been thinking? What have I been thinking? It's all you, and it's all me. In my life, everything that's here, I created it. I got it here. I wanted this, and I got it. I wanted this $120 mouse, silly mouse, too expensive as far as I know from Apple. I wanted it, and it came. It was an idea, was a thought. It took me to the store. I paid the money. Now I got the mouse, $120. You think, you feel it, you act, you start having everything is you thought about it first. Now you're not going to accept this idea. Selena, I suggest we have a conversation about that. Your call, but I suggest we talk a little bit first because it's a big conversation. There are many, many reasons that's why that's good or bad. I can't comment, especially on the live. So your thought become the things in your life. Now, most people don't like the idea because they don't want to take the responsibility. They will say it's his fault, it's her fault. My parents did that to me. They did that to me. Your parents, they're 20 years older than you. What the hell are you going to do? They already birthed you and did whatever they could. I mean, there are some bad parents out there, but for the most part, parents are good parents. For the most part, there are some bad parents. Let me just be clear. But you got here somehow. Let's get you to take control of you right now. It doesn't. There is no good in blaming and putting the responsibility on others. You're above 18. It's time for you to stand up so you can become the man or the woman who you need to be. That's what it's time. That's what this material does. That's what I call it. 150 years of science and psychology to achieve your goals, dreams, and desires. 150 years. How cool is that? Power of the mind. It's not the degree. See, I had 5 degrees before I got this material. 5 degrees. I wish I learned this material before, because then I would not have spent all that money and all that time on the degrees. But the degrees served me, so I'm not going to complain. The decision was made, and I got them, and it got me promotions, got me jobs, got me paid. Now with this and the degrees and all of you, I'm so much more powerful. I love it. I really love it. I live a charmed life. I have everything I want. I do everything I want, anytime I want. It's pretty cool. That's my new cabinet here in the back. I'm going to show you guys. That's pretty cool. Still working on organizing my special books. Now, at the end of every chapter, so if you haven't gotten the book, you should get the book. Take a snippet, go to my Amazon, look up my name, and you'll find it. There's only one Kamal El-Rassi, I think, on Amazon. There's very few of us. So, all right. And grab the book. And if you get it, please, please, please give me a review. There's so few of you giving. I think I have 5 reviews now, but there's 5 other people saying yes, 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 but they never do. So I just keep asking. So, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're going to apply in this information, because at the end of every chapter, there's like a little note here that you can write some of your goals. Like, I'm so happy and grateful now that, what is your goal? You have to write your goal. I know, and you write it a few times. So you'll write your goal. Let's see if we can get a pen. And just because it says it, I'm going to write my goal, right? I'm going to write my goal because I want to write my goal a few times a day. So cool. So, and then also there is some section for ideas. See, what I taught you is going to give you ideas. And these ideas, you have to take action on them. Ideas are no good. See, the library is full of information. But you have to put ideas on paper and take action on them. If you don't take action on them, nothing happens. I'm going to tell you a little story. I was just in Portland, Oregon. I'm now in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where I live. But I was just in Portland, Oregon. The largest bookstore in the country, Powell's Bookstore. Powell's Bookstore, the largest bookstore. It has so much information. It's crazy. Thousands and thousands of books. So many rooms, so many levels, a whole block. Imagine a whole neighborhood of books. So I go inside the bookstore and I see all these books, beautiful books, science, technology, computers, theology, literature, all kind of fantasy, fiction. But before I went in, I saw something outside that kind of stuck in my mind. I saw about 18 to 20 people, homeless people, around the bookstore. So as I went inside the bookstore, I decided to walk back outside to take a look and to see if it's for real. I mean, we're beside the largest bookstore in the country. There's more information than you could ever need. But yet outside the bookstore, there are 20 and 30 and 40-year-olds, with the can and the pan, whatever, the hat, collecting money. So it was so sad. And it's not that, I did help some of them, but the idea is more about the bookstore has all the information you need to build a better life. But yet these are bums living on the street. They've given up. It's just so sad. So it's not information. So I want you to, at every chapter, if you get ideas, I want you to write them. And I want you to write me, say, hey, I wrote this idea down and I'm taking action on it. I'm taking my home to this next level. I'm doing this to my car. I'm upgrading my house. I don't know what is it you're going to do. I have hundreds of testimonies, but I want to hear from you. I want to know how this is going to change you. Because the action you take is going to determine what's going to happen to you. See, we live in a cause and effect universe, right? This is the way it works. So when you take action, a reaction will happen. If you don't take any action, nothing happens. Good action, good results. Bad action, bad results. So we live in a cause and effect universe. And that's why so many people don't get anything in life. They keep dreaming. They're thinking, wishing, and hoping. I don't want you to wish and hope. I want you to come back next time we go over lesson 5. And in lesson 5, it's the higher mental faculties. And lesson 5 is the higher mental faculties. I'm going to teach you how to think higher, be higher, really think about that next level. All right? That's what I want you to think about. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So that's the end of this chapter. I'm going to pause my recording on the screen. Give me 1 second here.